Hey everyone, it's Greg here, and I've had some questions about pricing of sites. How do you figure out a price? People are kind of getting lost, having no idea how to price sites. We talked about this a little bit in regular OMG content, but I wanted to put a video specifically in NHB for it, so it could be easily referenced. Okay, I'm going to use this site that we have here. This is one of the original OMG example sites, DelawareDivorceLawyers.org. If we go to Google, it's ranking #1 for Delaware divorce lawyers. Um, Probably divorce lawyers in Delaware. I haven't checked in a while. Yeah, there we are right there at #1 again. Probably Delaware divorce attorneys. Yeah, there we are right there at #1 again. So, this site's ranking for a lot of stuff, getting a good amount of traffic. So, if you have a site that's ranking and getting traffic, one way to kind of figure out how to price it is go to the Google keyword tool, and if you're actually logged into a Google account, like a Google Gmail account, it will give you an extra column. It will give you some extra columns, and in that you'll see the average cost per click. All right, so we can see that for the main keyword, people are paying about $6.60 per click. All right, we can also see what they're paying for Delaware divorce attorneys and divorce lawyers in Delaware. And divorce attorneys in Delaware. Just to kind of get a better number, we can get an average of those. Let me copy these. So let's retype these in. Alright, so we got about an average of $7, okay, across the board. A little over $7, but we can use $7. So if you already have a website that's getting traffic, what you can do is you can times the amount of visitors by this number, okay? Because each time someone clicks on one of these pay-per-click ads, for example, these people up here, they're all paying per click. That's called pay-per-click advertising. And these people to the right, they're all paying per click. Alright, and we know from the Google keyword tool that they're paying about $7 per click. And that's just an average. Some people paying more, some people paying less. But on average, they're paying $7. Alright, being that I'm the #1 website, I haven't checked the traffic in a while, but it's probably getting a good amount of traffic. I should monetize the site better, but that's another story. So what do we want to do is go to the calculator. And let's say you want to run it monthly. Okay, it's getting 100 visitors a month. 100's low. Let's say it's getting, trying to guess about how many. Let's say it's getting 300 visitors a month. Now that's low too, but we'll just say 300. Okay, we'll use 500 because that's probably more accurate. 500 visitors a month. If they were getting that traffic through pay-per-click, they'd be paying $7 per click. All right. So if they're getting the same amount of traffic our website is getting, they'd be paying $3,500 a month in the pay-per-click advertising. Okay, so what we can do is offer it to them for less. So we can say, we'll give you the same traffic you'd be paying $3,500 a month for in the pay-per-click, and we'll give it to you for whatever percent you want. You can do, we'll give it to you for 50%, we'll give you half off, or you can say we'll give it to you less than 50%, we'll give it to you for like 40%. So you just times that times 0.4, and there's your number right there, $1,400 a month. So, and that's that's a pretty good number right there. $1,400 a month, that'd make you a good amount of money. And this site's probably getting more visitors than that. I'm guessing this site gets about 1,000 visitors a month, which means this site would be making about $2,800 a month. Okay, I have to see how much traffic it's getting exactly, but so that's how we can come up with that number for monthly if you have a website that's ranking. Another way you can do it is you can kind of make an estimate based off these numbers. Now, if you don't have a website ranking, you can say, all right, well, this term gets 320 or 260 exact searches a month because we use local for local terms, and they're paying about $7 per click, and you can kind of make a guess off that. We can say, I can probably get because I'll rank for other keywords. I'll rank for divorce lawyers in Delaware, I'll rank for divorce attorneys in Delaware. I'll end up getting about 500 visitors a month. There's your estimate right there, about $1,400 a month. Okay, so that's one way you can do it. If you're doing pay-per-call, I haven't done pay-per-call yet. directly. I have people doing it kind of for me. But if you're doing it directly, I've talked to a friend of mine, Ryan McKinney, who's been doing this for years, and he said what he does is he does the average amount people are paying per click times 10, and that's what he charges per call about. All right, so the average pay per click rate here is $7 about. So what you would do is times that time by 10. 7 times 10 equals $70. That's about how much you'd be charging per call. So if you wanted to approach a client and you say, hey, you only got to pay me each time someone calls you, so each time you get a lead, you pay me $70. All right, and the way that he likes to set it up is 10 calls ahead of time. So you just times that by 10. Say I need a $700 deposit. As soon as you get 10 calls, it's up, and you have to reload it, or I'm going to take down your number. Okay, so that's kind of the way that you can do per call. And again, I got that from Ryan McKinney because he does a lot of pay per call. He's really good at that stuff. So that's kind of the pricing aspect. You can, if you have a website ranking, it's really easy because you can take the traffic, times it by the cost per click number, and then multiply it by 0.4, 0.5, even 0.6, 0.7, whatever you want to do. Now you can do 80%. It's still less. Whatever number you do, it's still less. Whenever you can offer someone the same traffic for less, it can be really powerful. And that's why we recommend approaching these people. Like, we can approach RS Family Law, who I know, they're like 10 minutes from me. And I can say, look, I know you're paying $7 per click, so that's $7 per visitor. I'll give you the same amount of visitors for $3 per visitor. Okay, that's $1,400 a month for the amount of visitors I'm getting. And it can be really powerful because, again, these people are already paying for that traffic, and we already know about how much they're paying. So we can use that and offer them the same traffic for less, and it's really, really powerful. But those are just some ways that you can kind of estimate and figure out about how much the site's going to be worth. It's not always exactly accurate, but it's a way to get a good number. And of course, anytime you have something like a lawyer, anything that's high paying, a plastic surgeon, anything like that, a dentist, anywhere where it's a high paying client, you're going to be making more with those sites. Whereas if it's like a pizza site, or something like that where the average customer may only spend $20, it's going to be a lot harder to get those big deals. So just keep that in mind when you're doing this. And you also got to take in mind repeat customers. For example, daycare is maybe $1,000 a month, but if someone stays at that daycare for 5 years, that's what, 12,000 times 5, that's $60,000 for a client right there. All right, so you got to consider the lifetime of the client, and also how much that client pays each time. So if you can kind of get from the potential client how much their average client is worth to them. For example, if I go to a divorce lawyer and I say, how much is your average client worth to you? Well, the average client is worth $25,000 lifetime to me, and that can kind of help you there. All right, so each client you bring them is going to make them $25,000. So that's also something you can consider if you want to bump up these numbers from what I'm showing you, because people can, and you can definitely do that. All right, people do, and you can do that. That's what I'm trying to say. So hopefully that clears up on how to do the pricing. If you don't have a site in place, you can just kind of get an estimate by going through the numbers, what you think you're going to be ranking for, and then do it that way. And if you have a site in place, it's really easy. You just do the amount of traffic you're getting times the average cost per click, and then just take a percentage off of that, or whatever you want to give the client. And then for pay-per-call, you do the average cost per click times 10, and that's how much you would charge per call. Alright, so hopefully this video helps. Talk to you guys soon.